Today we're going to be covering Green Lantern. This is going to tell you how the first ring was ever made and what is going to happen with Raimi and Volthoom taking back over the first ring. You'll discover all of it. It's all about willpower like this Sour Patch Kid, and I'm stronger. Enjoy. In our last video, Jessica and Simon were off to Mogo for some training since they never actually earned the right to wear their lanterns. But while the two were off training, Volthoom, still trapped inside Raimi's body, began to work on trying to repair his travel lantern to return to his time period. As Volthoom searched through Raimi's old records, he learned that a piece of the broken travel lantern was put into Jessica's ring. In the deepest reaches of space, you will find Space Sector 180, or also known as the edge of the known universe. But also there is a place that is locked away that very few know about, the Vault of Shadows. The Vault of Shadows is the sister structure to the Chamber of Shadows. Whereas the Chamber is a prison where the Guardians punish their criminals, the Vault is a mausoleum where the Guardians bury their secrets. As Volthoom leads the two in, Simon looks around and asks if they're even supposed to be here. Jessica looks up to see the 7 tubes, asking who are they. And Volthoom, still in Raimi's body, tells them that they are their predecessors, the first 7 to wear the Green Lantern ring. They died fighting. But before Volthoom could finish his sentence, a green sword is slammed down before him and a voice shouts, "Halt." Everyone looks up to see a man pulling back the construct sword and he yells, "No one may enter the Vault of Shadows, so speaks the mighty Tieran." Volthoom steps forward telling them that his name is Raimi, and he is acting on commission of the Corps leader, John Stewart. The survival of the Corps itself is at stake. Step aside. Tieran asks him, "Raimi, the Rogue Guardian, but you are banished for White, Baz, Cruz?" "My old friends, it's been so long!" But Tieran stops and says, "Hang on, you're no Guardian. No, you are." As Tieran takes his sword and lunges at Volthoom, before he can even strike, Volthoom freezes him in place. As the construct sword fades, Volthoom says that his brain must be mush after standing guard for so long. Wait here while he gets what he needs. Jessica asks, "Wait, Tieran knew us, but I've never seen him before." And Simon says, "Yeah, he definitely said our names." But rather than answer, Volthoom continues on. And Simon asks Jessica if it's him or is Raimi acting strange. Jessica then asks, "Compared to what? He's always been weird." Just outside of the vault's crypt, Volthoom begins chanting something in a strange language, and suddenly a giant door before him begins to open. The bright shining light washes over him and he says that it's here. For the first time, my ring, the most powerful ring of them all. Back out at the entrance, Jessica and Simon sit, taking turns stating what they miss most about Earth. And Jessica sighs, stating that they have been in space ever since they went to go find Dr. Polaris. Simon says, yeah, he misses his sister and Nazir. The worst part is that it's Nazir's birthday, and he said that he would be there. Jessica fist bumps him, telling him that it's going to be okay. All they have to do is complete this little errand and they can go back home. But just then, Volthoom calls out to them, telling them that he wishes to show them something. As they get up, Volthoom slides on his ring, explaining how this ring appeared from a cosmic vortex. It shined brighter than anything he had ever seen. The power was beyond a lowly human, and he wanted it regardless. He was the first one in the universe to wear a power ring, and his life has been a nightmare ever since then. The ring ruined his life, but he must admit, he has missed it. Smoke fills the air, and as it clears out, a man steps forward, and Volthoom goes on stating that he has traveled across time and space to find you, Jessica Cruz, and your ring. My name is Volthoom, the first lantern. In a flash, a lantern prison appears surrounding Volthoom, and he asks, "Do you think I fear prisons? I've been in one for 10 billion years. Simon shouts, "I don't know who you are." And Volthoom tells him, "I already told you, I'm the first lantern." Jessica yells that Raimi is still breathing, but it's not looking very good. Volthoom pushes his hand through Simon's construct, stating that all he wanted was help saving his planet, everything that he has ever known, including his mother. He gave the Guardians everything, his travel lantern, his body, his soul. What did they give him? A knife in the back. Simon asks, how is he stepping out of the construct? And Volthoom tells him, "I am the acolyte of the spectrum." Jessica says, "Wait. That voice." Simon gives his ring a boost in power, trying to contain Volthoom, but Volthoom just reaches out, grabbing the ring, stating, "A dose of pure, unfiltered emotional spectrum for the young." Simon's ring begins to glow brighter and it begins to repeat overload, overload, overload. And then there's a loud crack! And Volthoom lets go of Simon's power ring and it shatters. He screams as the tattoo on his arm lights up and Jessica quickly jumps into attack. Jessica's ring tells her that she needs to hurry. Simon is suffocating without his ring. Volthoom turns back, punching through her construct, stating that all he wanted to do was save his home. Is that okay with you? Because I need your ring to do it. Volthoom grabs Jessica by the wrist, telling her ring to activate Travel Lantern. An unknown voice responds, telling him the voice print is recognized. Greetings, Volthoom. It's been 10 billion years since your last jump. Jessica then asks, no, wait, ring, don't listen to him! And her ring tells her that there is a conflict with unknown programming. There's something else here and it calls itself the Travel Lantern. Volthoom shouts to the ring to activate the trans-universal multiversal jump. But just as Jessica fights to keep control, the ring tells her, blocked, insufficient permission. She grits her teeth, stating that this is her ring. She earned it. He can't take it. And as her willpower begins to flood into the ring, she tells it to get her and Simon out of here. Volthoom tries to tell the ring to travel to Earth 15, but then there's a loud crack, and that's when a flash of light appears, and as it fades, there's only Volthoom alone. Back on Earth, Nazir reads a letter from Simon telling him how things will be different, starting with him being there for his birthday. Nazir looks at the clock, which is at 11:57. He wads the paper up, stating, something came up, huh? Just like always, Simon. But what Nazir doesn't know is that both Simon and Jessica are flowing through time and space itself. But what about that first ring, the one that was mentioned? Let's tell a little side tale where you learn about that. The planet Maltius was the home of the Guardians of the Universe, the birthplace of the first Lantern. During the many weeks of working with the Visitor, Raimi caught a glimpse of the man and he looked rather bored, or maybe sad. One thing was for sure, Raimi felt bad for the man, keeping his emotions hidden. But Raimi, for keeping his emotions, was forbidden from working with the other Guardians in their research of the Travel Lantern and the Power Ring. One day though, the Visitor stopped by to see Raimi while he was cleaning up after the Visitor first arrived. Raimi mentioned that he would like to rebuild Krona's device to make it better and safer for them to use. However, it was not a popular project among the others. The Visitor asked, why is that? And Raimi tells him that Krona wanted to look deep into their past, so why not use that to look into their future? The Visitor says that he too was a scientist back on his universe. He can tell that there's something special about him. So how about they forget about everyone else and they work together to figure out this first ring? And now that they are friends, he can call him Volthoom. The two continue to work on the powers of the ring, and one day during testing, Raimi says that the ring is from the emotional spectrum, right? Maybe there's a connection. Think of something that could make him happy, or sad, or angry. And Volthoom thinks about his home being destroyed. And then suddenly there's an explosion of light from the ring. Raimi shouts for him to hang on while he gets the reading. And once they sit back and look at the giant hole in the wall, they shout together that the ring works. But during their celebration, Raimi says they can't go on like this. The ring, there's too much strain on Volthoom's body. After looking at their most recent data, well, if they push it too much, the first ring will kill him. Volthoom told him that they can't stop now, not after the progress that they made. He doesn't care about the danger. And Raimi stops him, shouting, you should care. This work is not worth dying for. Volthoom tells him that he doesn't get it. He'd give his life for this ring. This is everything that he's been searching for. Raimi thinks about the things that Volthoom has told him, how he was a refugee on Earth 15 and that his homeworld was destroyed by unknown forces. He was trying to develop a weapon to save his planet and his mother. And Volthoom then says, please, this is everything to me, Raimi. Raimi finally breaks down and tells him, okay, he may have an idea. He brought a proposal to the Science Citadel, and they agreed as long as Volthoom continued to aid in their efforts of mastering the ring. The Great Heart, the lantern containing the emotions of all of the Guardians, was placed in the Volthoom's chest so that he could create a direct connection to the emotional spectrum. The surgery worked and their progress was incredible, even with the power ring being beyond their understanding. Using the different colors of the spectrum, Volthoom could create things as well as destroy. But one day, Raimi did something terrible. He used the Travel Lantern, and he saw something that he wished he had never seen. After seeing what was going to happen, Raimi told Volthoom that he couldn't allow him to return to his homeworld with the ring. Volthoom laughed it off, but Raimi said that he was serious. He used the Travel Lantern to try and help, but what he saw was the exact moment of Volthoom's destruction. The cause of that destruction, what destroyed his world, was him and the ring. He went back to try and save it, but that's not what happened. The different colors of the emotional spectrum, they took over Volthoom. First it was blue with the hope that he would never be able to do it, and then it turned to red with rage as he shouted that he had worked so hard to prevent it from happening. Next it turned to yellow with fear that Raimi was just wanting to take away the ring, and finally it turned to orange, filling Volthoom with greed, yelling that it was his and no one could take it. Raimi tried to calm Volthoom down, but as Volthoom demanded the travel lantern, the Science Citadel told him that they would never let him have it. He shouted to Raimi, stating that he thought that they were friends, and Raimi told him that he has to trust him on this. However, the emotional spectrum proves to be too much for him, and Volthoom lashes out, killing any Guardians that he can find. In an effort to try and save Earth-15, Raimi destroyed the travel lantern, trapping Volthoom on this universe. But because the travel lantern was rich with emotional energy, he was able to craft 7 power rings out of it. The green emotional energy was the most stable part of the spectrum, being right in the center. And with those 7 rings, Raimi set them off into the universe in hopes that they could find someone to help them. The Guardians of the universe. They rejected emotion and tore it out of their own hearts. And now they expected it to save them. And there you have it, the story of the first ring and Volthoom taking over, like the rage of this red Sour Patch Kid. Don't forget, everyone on the screen right now is the patrons who have been supporting us through the turbulent times here at YouTube. And click somewhere on the screen for more stuff. I'm going to stop pointing because it doesn't work. It's really good.